Good morning, children. The topic of my presentation is index numbers. So here, what is an index number? This is a new word for you undergraduate students. You might not have come across this, but in general, you might have seen this in newspapers, like cost of living index number, consumer index number, price index numbers. So what does this index numbers mean? So index numbers are the indicators. They are called as the indicators which reflect the changes in, say, prices of a commodity, changes in sales, or changes in imports, exports, or changes in the cost of living over a period of time. So it mainly reflects the changes in different commodities. So how will define an index number? So it is nothing but a statistical tool which is designed to measure the relative changes in various commodities over a period of time. So here my presentation covers this contents, definition, classification, what are the methods of construction, what are unweighted indices, what are weighted indices, what is value index number. So we'll see one by one. The first definition of an index number, as I told you, an index number measures the relative change in price, quantity, value, or some other item of interest from one time period to another. So a simple index number measures the relative change in one or more than one variable. According to Blair, index numbers are a specialized type of averages. So index numbers are nothing but a specialized type of averages. So here index number, as I told you, it is a statistical measure which is designed to express changes in a variable or a group of related variables. And they are usually expressed in percentage form. Any index number, we express it in percentage form. They are widely used in reporting economic data in businesses for monitoring trend, whether that business is increasing or decreasing, in measuring the performances, comparing the cost of living at different times in different localities or different countries. So government organizations or industries, all they use index numbers for planning their businesses or how to um, review the position and plan the action accordingly. So you have different classification of index numbers: price index numbers, quantity index numbers, value index numbers, consumer price index, special purpose index. So for all this, we'll discuss in detail. First, let us see what are the different definitions of this. What is a price index number? So if you want to measure the changes in the prices of different commodities which are produced or consumed over a given period of time with reference to some or with comparing with some period. So that is price index number. So statistically speaking, it measures the changes in the prices of the commodities produced, consumed, or sold in a given period with reference to the base period. So what is this base period? Base period is nothing but the period or with which we are comparing the current position. That is called as base period. So given period is called as current period. The year or the time with which we comparing, that is called as base period. Similarly, quantity index number, price index numbers is to measure the changes in the prices of the commodities produced, consumed. Similarly, quantity index numbers are used to measure and compare the changes in the physical quantities, physical volume of goods produced, sold, or purchased in a given period compared to some other base period. So here we'll measure how the certain commodity is consumed, how much quantity it is consumed in the given year compared to the previous year, compared to say 5 years back, how that particular commodity was consumed, how much quantity of that commodity was consumed. So to measure that, you have quantity index number. So basically, to measure the changes in prices, we have price index number. To measure the changes in quantity index numbers, quantity, you have quantity index number. Then you have value index number. Value index number is, it shows the changes in the value of any commodity in a given period reference to the base period. How that value of that commodity is changing. To measure that, we have value index number. Then you have consumer price index. Consumer price index is nothing but cost of living index. So here, these are used to measure the average change over time in the prices paid by the consumers for a specific group of goods and services. That will discuss detail in the next presentation. Then you have special purpose index numbers. So these indexes are framed for a special study relating to a particular variable or aspect. Now, how to construct these index numbers? See, now we have seen classification of index number. Now we'll see how to construct these index numbers. So how will you construct these index numbers? So index numbers are constructed based on two types. One is on the basis of subjects like price, quantity, or values. So if we are studying, if we are constructing index number based on prices, it is called price index number. On quantities, it is called quantity index number. On values, it is called value index. And for whether it is any for special purpose, it is called a special purpose index. And the second type is on the basis of number of commodities. That is based on number of commodities used in construction of index numbers. We have simple index number and composite index number. So if we are calculating indexes for one commodity, it is called simple index number. If we are calculating indices for group of commodities, then it is called as composite index number. So index number is a singular form. If it is plural, we pronounce it as indices. So before going in depth of these index numbers, so let us be familiar with the different notations and terminologies we'll be using in this. So here small p, small letters always denotes value of that index number. And if it is an index number, we'll denote it as capital P. So here it is small p naught to p, small p to the suffix. This is not p naught or p naught j. It means what? Price of the jth commodity in the base year. In the base year means the year with which we are comparing. That is base year. Then P1 or Pij is price of jth commodity in the current year or current period. Similarly, Q0 or Q0J will be quantity of the jth commodity in the base period. Q1 or Qij will be quantity of the jth commodity in the current year. Similarly, V0 or V0J is value of the jth commodity in the base period. V1 or Vij will be value of the jth commodity in the current period. So 0 is for base year or base period and 1 is for current period. If you are using two suffixes like P0J and Pij, that means you are representing commodities also in that. So here I am interested in J denotes the commodity and the first suffix denotes the year. So if it is P0J, it is for price of the jth commodity in the base year, and if it is Pij, then it is price of the jth commodity in the current year. Similarly, you have capital P or capital P0I, this should be small I. Capital P0I, which is nothing but price index number. We call this as price index number. So whatever notations we are writing in capital letters, those are called as index numbers. We are writing them in small letters, then they are the value of those index numbers or value of the commodities. So capital Q or capital Q0I is quantity of index number. V or V0I is value index number. Now, what are the different factors we have to consider for constructing an index number? So you have 7 factors. First one is purpose of the index number. So when you are constructing an index number, you should have a clear idea for what purpose you are constructing an index number. If you are constructing an index number which is not matching to your idea or which is not matching to your objective, then that will be a waste thing. So first you should know what is the objective of an index number, why you are calculating that index number, for what you are calculating that index. Then you have selection of items or commodities. That means based on the objective of index number, you should select the commodities as per the objective. Like for example, I want to study the indices or index of the cost of living of low income group people in a certain area. So what are the commodities I should consider? My objective is to study the cost of living of low income groups in a certain locality. So then I should select only those items which are consumed by these low income group people and not the commodities which are consumed by middle income or high income group people, like ACs or refrigerators, cars. All these are not used by by the low income group people. So if we are considering those commodities, then our objective will not be fulfilled. We cannot study the objective clearly. So here the selection of commodities should be such that it fulfills the objective of our index number, or it relates to the objective of our index number. Then selection of base period. So this is important, like with which year we want to compare our study or our index number. So that is important. So for selection of base period, we have two important points. So what are those two important points? First one is the base period must be a normal period. It means what? The base period should be free from all sorts of abnormalities or chance fluctuations like the economic depression or labor strikes or wars or floods or earthquakes. So that base period should be free from all these calamities. And the second one is the base period should not be too distant from the current period. So these are the 2 points we have to remember when selecting the base period. The next, selection of weights. So what is that? You have to select appropriate weights for constructing an index number. So proper weight should be attached to them to take into account the relative importance in the objective of the study. Next one is types of averages to be used. So basically in constructing index number, we're using two types of averages in our study. One is arithmetic mean and another one is geometric mean. Then choice of variables. So the variables which you want to study, you have to select it as per the objective of our construction of the index number. Then selection of an appropriate formula. The formula which suits our objective, we should select that formula for constructing the index number. So these are the 7 factors which we have to consider for constructing an index number. Now methods of construction of index numbers, we have different methods. So index numbers is divided into 2 parts. You have 2 types. One is simple or unweighted index number, then you have weighted index number. And again in this unweighted index number, you have simple aggregative method, simple price relative method. Similarly in weighted, you have weighted aggregative method and weighted price relative method. This we can also call as unweighted aggregative method, unweighted price relative method. So we'll see each one of them one by one. First one is simple unweighted aggregate method. So what does this consist? As we said, index numbers are nothing but these are the averages, and we express always index numbers in terms of percentages. So that's why here we are writing into 100. So simple unweighted aggregate method is it consists in expressing aggregate of prices in any year as a percentage of their aggregate in the base year. So here P0i is equals to summation Pij by summation P0j into 100. Summation Pij is nothing but aggregate. Sum means aggregate. Aggregate of prices in any year. I is any year. As a percentage means into 100 of their aggregate, that is sum in the base year, that is P0j. So this is P naught I, unweighted price index number, summation Pij by summation P naught j into 100. Now limitations of this method. What are the limitations of this method? It is taking only the prices. It is not taking into account the relative importance of various commodities. So it does not take into account the relative importance of various commodities. The price of various commodities may be different units. Like for example, per liter, the price will be different, or per quantile, the price will be different. So it is not taking any importance on the commodities, relative importance to the commodities. That is the main drawback of unweighted aggregate method. Then you have unweighted average of price relatives. So this is average of price relative. That means you are taking the average of the price relative. So for that you should know what is a price relative. The price relative is calculated as the percentage of the price relative of any year is expressed as the percentage of the price relative of the base year. So here price relative is calculated as Pij by P naught j into 100. Now we'll obtain an average of this price relative. So this average can be obtained by two methods. One is arithmetic mean, another one is geometric mean. That is what is given. Obtain an average of this percentage of price relatives using AM, that is arithmetic mean, or GM, geometric mean, as given below. So average of price relative P0I using arithmetic mean is 1 by n summation Pij by P naught j into 100. Similarly, P naught I using geometric mean is product of Pij by P naught j whole to the power of 1 by n into 100. Next we have weighted aggregate method. So this is simple weighted aggregate method. So this also consists in expressing aggregate of prices in any year as a percentage of their aggregate in base year, but along with the weights associated with the jth commodity. So if you don't have these weights, then this is nothing but unweighted aggregate method. Because here we have weights associated with the prices, this is called as weighted aggregate method. So it is defined as P0I is equals to summation over J Wj Pij by summation over J Wj P naught J into 100. See here one more thing. Here I am taking only prices because I am constructing price index numbers. If you want to construct quantity index numbers, then in such cases, wherever you have P, replace it with Q. See, if I want quantity index number, I can replace this with Q0I, and correspondingly the formula also, instead of prices, will take quantities, that is Qij and Q0j. So there is no difference in the formulas. Just in place of P, you have to write Q to find the quantity index numbers. Now, based on the different types of weights, we have different weighted index numbers. So here I said in weighted aggregate method, this is the formula. Summation Wj Pij by summation Wj P naught j into 100. Now for different types of weights, you have different types of index numbers. So you have Laspier's, Pash's, Drobish-Bowley, Marshall-Edgeworth, Walsh, and Fisher's index number. We'll see each one of them. First one is Laspier's price index number, which is also known as base year method. So why it is called as base year method? In Laspier's index numbers, here the weights Wj are taken as quantity of the jth commodity in the base year. So because we are considering quantities of the base year, this is called as base year method. So in the formula, wherever you have Wj, replace it with Q0j. So P0ILA means Laspier's price index number. This is equal to summation over J Pij into Q0j, because Wj is Q0j, divided by summation over J P0j Q0j into 100. Similarly, you have Pash's price index number, or it is called as given year method or current year method. Why it is called as current year method? Because here we are taking weight Wj as quantity of the current year, quantity of jth commodity in the current year. So in Pash's price index number, the weights are taken as the quantities of the current year. That is, Wj is equals to Qij. So Pash's price index is given by P0I PA is equals to summation over J Pij Qij by summation over J P0J Q0J into 100. See, remember this, all the index numbers should be expressed in percentages. That's why you have into 100 here. Next, we have Drawbish-Bowley index number, or it is known as LP formula. L stands for last piece, P stands for Parshas. Why it is called LP formula? Because Drawbish-Bowley price index number is obtained by taking the arithmetic mean of last year's and Parshas price indices. So it is given by P0I dB equal to, because we have two index numbers, I am dividing it with 2. So 1 by 2 P0I last year's plus P0I Parshas. So here this is 1 by 2. Substituting this P0I last year's is summation Pij Q0J by summation P0J Q0J plus P0I Parshas is summation Pij Qij by summation P0J Qij into 100. Next we have Marshall-Edgeworth price index number. So in Marshall-Edgeworth what we do, weights are taken as arithmetic mean of the quantities of the jth commodity in both the years. That means, see, in this, the weights of jth commodity is arithmetic mean of quantity of jth commodity in base year and current year. So we have this formula for weighted index number P0I ME equal to summation Wj Pij by summation Wj P0J into 100. So weight is taken as it is mentioned, weight is taken as arithmetic mean of quantity of jth commodity in base and current year. So two quantities, you have 2 years, so dividing with 2. The formula will be summation over J Pij into Q0J plus Qij by 2 divided by summation over J P0J into Q0J plus Qij by 2 into 100. Next we have Walsh price index number. So what is Walsh index number? In Marshall-Edgeworth we have taken Wj as arithmetic mean of the quantities of jth commodity in base and current year. Similarly, in Walsh price index number, the weight of the jth commodity is taken as geometric mean of quantities of jth commodity in base and current year. So that is what is given in this, weights of jth commodity is geometric mean of quantity of jth commodity in base and current year. So you have P0I Walsh equal to summation over J Wj Pij by summation over J Wj P0J into 100, and this Wj is geometric mean of Q0J Qij. So it will be Q0J into Qij whole to the power of 1 by 2. Or Wj is nothing but square root of Q0J into Qij. That you have to substitute here, you will get Walsh price index number. Next we have Fisher's index number, or Irwin's Fisher's index number, or Irwin's Fisher's ideal index number. So you have Drawbish-Bowley as arithmetic mean of last year's and Parshas index number. Fisher's index, Drawbish-Bowley index number is arithmetic mean of last year's and Parshas index number. Fisher's index number is geometric mean of last year's and Parshas price indices. So here, that is what is mentioned here. It is the geometric mean of last year's and Parshas price indices, and is given by P0I F equal to P0I last year's into P0I Parshas whole to the power of half, or square root of P0I last year's into P0I Parshas. So here in last year's index number, you have summation Pij Q0J by summation P0J Q0J into, similarly Parshas index number is summation Pij Qij by summation P0J Qij whole to the power of half into 100. So this is Fisher's index number. Why we call it as ideal index number, that we'll discuss later. Then last one is value index number. See, I told you before also, you have price index number, quantity index number, and value index number. So in all these formulas, I told you about price index numbers only. P0IF, P0IW, P0IDB, P0IPA, P0ILA. All these are price index numbers. If you want quantity index number, quantity last year's index number, then you should have last year's quantity index numbers, means you should have Q0I last year's, and wherever you have P, replace it with Q. Wherever you have Q, replace it with P. Similar with all the formulas. So that will give you quantity index number. Next, value index number. So value index measures changes in both the prices and quantities involved. Then it is called as value index number. So a value index such as the index of department store sales needs the original base year prices. So the original base year quantities, the present year prices and the present year quantities for its construction. So if a departmental store sales needs, if a departmental store sales wants to calculate the value index, then they need the original base year prices, original base year quantities, original current year prices, and original current year quantities for its construction. So the value index formula is given by V0 is equals to summation over J, Pij, Qij by summation over J, P naught J, Q naught J. That is price and quantity of the current year and price and quantity of the base year into 100 will give you value index number. So these are the three types which we have discussed now. Formulas of three types of index numbers: price index number, quantity index number, and value index number.